And we're back about a month later. Sorry, we have not been here, but there's something called the coronavirus going around, and we got a little scared. So we're just finally being able to get back. Hopefully everyone is staying safe. But we have a lot to talk about today, and we have a lot to cover and just kind of catch up on. We'll do a lot of catching up with Fidel. We have our friend John here as a guest today.
Hey, John.
Thank you, John, for coming on.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first time that we're doing a Zoom podcast, so please bear with us. If the audio is crappy, the audio is crappy. Sorry, we got to make do with what we have. So with that being said, Fidel, how has your time been in quarantine?
It's actually been busy. Despite the whole madness going on, I'm still working. Thank God. School is still the same, just through Zoom, which is cool because once class is over, I go to my room. So that's one cool thing. It's just like I'm saving a lot of money on gas, especially because it's cheaper. I get to work in 30 minutes instead of an hour and 10. So that's always a positive so far. But this is funny because this is the first time John's actually been into the podcast as a guest, but he's been in the background of another one, right? With Anna. I think he was in the background of two of them. That's kind of cool that you finally made time to make it to the podcast.
How's quarantine been for you, John?
Pretty good and chill, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like life is so hectic and busy. So this was the first time I was able to just kind of sit with my thoughts and meditate. So I feel like I've just gotten like 10 times better, like mentally, like mental health wise because of this.
That's good. So yeah, it's a good time. I've noticed that I kind of have a lot of more free time as well. Just being able to not just do whatever I want to do and stuff like that, exercise more, go out for more runs, that sort of thing. Make some more, make better food for myself, eat a little bit healthier, which is obviously really important, especially in times like this. But yeah, how's school? Is everything good with school and stuff? We just finished our semester, so
right. That was your last semester. You're done. Now. Congratulations, Josh.
I know. This is your last 5 weeks, right? Last 5 weeks.
Yeah. How was the semester for y'all?
Mine was really chill, actually. The two classes that I took were research methods and behavior therapy. And I do behavior therapy, I want to do research. So this was like an easy, like those are I think the two easiest classes I'll ever take in my entire grad career. So it was a walk through the park. And actually, one of the things that really benefited me was the last section for the behavior therapy class focused on DBT and ACT. That's dialectical behavior therapy and acceptance commitment therapy. And in my own therapy that I have, we're doing a lot of ACT because my big thing is my perfectionistic thinking, and ACT is kind of great for tackling that. So it really benefited me, and our professor actually replaced our final for just a week of intensive ACT worksheets and reflections. And I took it really seriously. So I spent at least like 4 hours a day for a week doing mindfulness exercises, worksheets, journaling. And it literally felt like doing like a year's worth of therapy in a week's time.
That's actually pretty interesting. I was going to ask what kind of, because I've seen those worksheets at work, because we do ACT. I just never really had the time to sit down and do them because a lot of therapists are now focusing on those worksheets. Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because that's like the thing that I always said, like in my daily life, I used to always do a lot of mindfulness and meditation. Like every time I'm at the beach, I'll make like a cute little salmon doll and then just watch it get washed away by the waves. But you know, even with all that, I still kept saying or making the excuse, I just don't have time, or I'll forget, or it's like, do I really have to like count every step that I take when I'm walking? Do I really have to like turn off the music while I'm driving and just pay attention to the traffic when I'm commuting to work? But because it was an assignment and I was like recording my progress and really like diving full in, like it really made a huge difference, especially with my emotions.
So you really collected your own data. You were able to really kind of see what you were able to do.
Yeah, it was a lot of qualitative versus quantitative data, which in regular behavior therapy, especially at my job, I'm like I do so much data collection. Like I do probably 3 times more data collection than my job actually wants me to do.
Yeah.
But like
ABA, so
yeah, because I do ABA. But I mean, just in practice, like when you're working, especially with special needs kids, data collection is so important because there's just a lot of especially in the school setting, there's a lot of subjective decisions that get made. And my issue with that is it's very biased. And then the data that is collected and gets I get in trouble for saying this? Whatever. I think the data that does get collected by the schools and the system isn't complete and is biased and does not serve the needs of the actual kids.
You won't get in trouble for saying that.
Yeah.
Because you didn't crap talk your company, so you're fine.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Crap talk the district.
Yeah. Which is like, what are they going to do? No, yeah, that's really interesting. I'm glad that you've been able to use a lot more mindfulness and meditation throughout this time. It's like something that I've never really done.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been interested in like doing some of it, but I've never fully committed myself to actually practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I took like mindfulness and therapy in college, but that was pretty much it. Didn't do a whole lot with it, but yeah, at least it's been able to kind of help you out throughout these times. What else have you been able to do to really kind of be more present, especially during like quarantine and throughout like whole coronavirus crisis?
Honestly, I would say mindfulness, but not limiting mindfulness to meditation only.
Mindfulness. Okay, so what is that?
Yeah, sure. So
mean?
A lot of people think of mindfulness as meditation. So I have to sit in my thoughts and be quiet and like, brush away my thoughts with a feather every time they come up. And meditation is great. It is really great. Actually, it's really great for like accessing emotions that you've repressed. Because sometimes when I'm meditating, I'll just start randomly laughing or crying. And I'm like, oh, is this what my body was feeling? Like underneath all these thoughts. But it's the big thought with mindfulness is just being present for what you're doing. So you can have a conversation with your friends and not be present. You could be thinking about other stuff. You can your responses can be like on autopilot, like, yeah, oh, that sucks. Oh, that's cool. Even if you're more animated, you can still just not be there. So with mindfulness, you're just there in the conversations. You're listening. You're being very empathic. You're feeling the emotions. You're intellectually curious. Like you're listening to what they're saying, and like your mind is going all these different places based on what they're saying. Like, ooh, what did they think? What did they feel? Like, what would happen if this happened? Like, it's almost like just very curious. Another thing is when you're cooking, thinking about what you're cooking, focusing on your cooking, not just like, let me take an Instagram picture for the gram. So you're really paying attention to like, which is hard to not pay attention to when you're cooking because you might like, mess up the dish. And then just being present when you exercise. I guess like kind of the common theme of what I'm saying is it doesn't matter so much what you do, but what you bring to what you do, how you do it.
That's so interesting because when I took positive psych, our professor in grad school, that taught it to us, he was like, you just gotta like have like when was the last time you guys ever just sat down and ate without having like a screen on or something like that, and actually are focusing on what you're putting into your body, especially like while you're eating. Cooking, definitely agree. Like I can probably put a little bit more thought into it. Besides just coming up with whatever I'm gonna make and then doing it. But that's really interesting how it's just things that you're doing. So it's like it's not meant to, from what I understand, it's not meant to either be a hindrance or change your life in any way. It's just more of like an enhancement to kind of provide more understanding. Is that
yeah, it's to do you ever watch that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the remote control one.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, where like if you want to like tune out and just like put the thing on mute or just fast forward, and all of a sudden you realize you've missed your entire life. And that's that's kind of how it is with us, is that we drown ourselves in thinking about the present or the future or our anxieties or our worries, and we don't really live in the moment. Like it's I think a good analogy is like when you're driving to work. Like how many people remember the commute? Like, did they take the 405? What cars were in front of them? Who cut them off? Who was behind them? or were you zoned out thinking? Like, did you kind of just like wake up and like, oh, I'm already home? And, you know, I mean, it's kind of, it's okay to do that like while you're commuting, but do you do that when you're talking to your friends? Do you do that, you know, do you like wake up the next day and can't remember what happened the previous day because you were living on autopilot in order to kind of survive and drown out any anxieties or unpleasant thoughts? Because we do it very, it's not intentional, like living on autopilot. Especially for me, one of the ways I was coping, which wasn't so good, was just drowning myself in video games. Especially like I finally discovered Discord, and like I've been like gaming with people, like with friends and stuff, which is fine. But when I like would like play like video games by myself, it's like hours and hours would would just pass by. And it's like, what did I really do? And, you know, one of the big things with video games, which I'm not going to like try to like disparage them. I love them. I've just been watching a bunch of like YouTube videos of like people playing the Final Fantasy VII remake because it's awesome. But it's a form of escapism. It's a form of a way to procrastinate or run away from your problems that have been bothering you, especially with the virus. It's a way to kind of disengage, which is, you know, kind of fine until like but if that's like your, you know, your coping mechanism for dealing with problems is to run away and disengage, you know, you're going to find it leads to a lot of, you know, some of your problems will start to stack up. Your anxieties will stack up. That's why a lot of people, internet's been kind of spotty lately. Like when I game, sometimes I have to use Discord on my phone instead of my internet. That way I can just use like the cellular data.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I just transferred it over.
Okay. How is this going to affect the recording?
I transferred it to my personal hotspot. So it shouldn't flicker anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
well, you have recording still, so.
I was just talking about how like you know, we do things to kind of like numb ourselves during the day, which, you know, it's fine. I believe in alcohol. But at the end of the night, you know, when you stop exposing yourself to things that are numbing you out, like 12 to 3 a.m., all of a sudden, like a lot of people get hit, especially me, like with like waves of emotions and thoughts and anxiety. And it's because you've been numbing yourself to them like the entire day and they've kind of just fought. And now that you're kind of tired, like they're able to kind of take hold.
Right.
It's funny because I use well, not anymore, but I used to use traffic for my like personal mental space, where I would be stuck in traffic for an hour going to work or coming home from work. And it would be sometimes an hour drive, an hour and a half. And that's when I usually would have no radio on, I can't watch TV, but no podcast, nothing, no music, nothing. I was just viewing my thoughts. And that's usually when I would develop emotional, either roller coaster, either I get happier or I digest what emotion I was feeling earlier, didn't have time to pay attention to. So I do the same thing. I try to use my traffic time because when I'm home, I have to turn the switch and be something else where I have to be a dad. Can't be crying in the floor or whatever in front of him. So I usually use my traffic time to handle all those things. And usually it's worked out for me. Now I have less time, which is good because there is no traffic. So most of the time I tell myself, last time I was like, I actually wish there was traffic so I can have an hour of just by myself. But it was one of those, I got home in like 28 minutes and I was like, I'm still like thinking about stuff. So I don't like just turn the block and then go around just to give myself like 5 more minutes and then pull in. So that's the only time that I do where, like, I know you talk about going out and video games. I'm not a big video game guy, but I do like my own quality time by myself. And I usually would use traffic or the gym where I just sit in the sauna. Which is one thing I really do miss right now. I miss the sauna. I don't know. I know you, John, you like the sauna too. I don't know if you're missing it right now.
Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be like the last thing that returns.
Yeah, that's gonna be the last thing that returns.
It was already kind of shitty and like dirty before.
Yeah,
I used to hate it. Oh my god, it was one thing when you were like super sweaty, and there'll be a guy that's like even more sweaty that just doesn't stop sweating, and you would like swipe the sweat out and throw it in the floor. I used to hate that. It was nasty. I used to stay away from those people. That's just me though.
You're supposed to shower before you get in the sauna and after you get in the sauna.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely, before or after this all started, now I realize that I really took a gym membership for granted. And it's already to begin with a privilege to have one, and then to only just take even more advantage of it and really take it for granted. Now I realize it's like, oh shoot, I can still maintain my lifestyle or like maintain my physical fitness in some sort of way, shape, or form by not having a gym membership. And I've realized that now. But it's funny that one of the few things that I really took for granted before all this happened was my gym membership, which is crazy because I hated going to the gym to begin with. And it's more so like I hated going to the gym because like I just really didn't want to go. But like I loved I love it obviously right after, but and the feeling that I have right after, but like just like knowing that like I was like really not into it to begin with, and now I'm just like all I want to do right now is just hit up 24 hours a day,
right.
you know?
Were you a 24-hour?
Yeah, the one
Me
here.
too.
The one here?
No, because you're like too far. What? Like you went to the one at like Topanga?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go there when my friend lived there, but the one that I went to was the Northridge one.
Oh, Northridge. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
which I kind of like the Northridge one better because the Topanga one, it's just it feels like you're not there to work out; you're there to like be seen.
Stop. It's weird because you have to like because you have to park. You have to park in the village. You have to park in the village parking lot
next
and then
to the Beth the Total
Wine.
Wine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible because like you work out, you feel great, you're on an endorphin high, and it's like,
and then you're just like, oh shit, should I get some happy stuff while I'm at it? And you have to like walk through the shops and then go up. Like for some reason, the gym is all the way up in like the third floor. Yeah, I find it really bizarre at first. I was like, why the heck am I walking through all the shops? Because now I'm sweaty as hell just walking through, people that I agree.
It is cleaner though.
It is cleaner. I can tell you that. Even the one that I used to go, it's cleaner than the one that I used to go back home to in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
The one because I think it's newer too. So yeah, man, taking a gym membership for granted, that's crazy. And then the one thing that really got me was it was like, oh wow, it's already a privilege to be able to afford or have a gym membership. So that's when I was like, I need to have a wake up call for myself. That thing's
I'm an LA Fitness guy. I've never had 24, so I do miss the row machines. I used to love doing the row machines. I used to do them 3 times a week, like on the dot. Like I don't have that much time, but I would always go for the row machine 3 times a week, and then go on the sauna for 30 minutes. So I don't even know when am I going to go back to the gym, because even they say they do open them next month, I don't think I'm still going to go.
No, that's like the worst place to be.
That's the last thing I'd go to.
Where people are like sweaty and exhausted, and like they're just fluids are just in the air that's being recirculated.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
I know it was like bad. Like I remember the week of when like coronavirus was when things were getting serious, like really fast. Because I think no one was taking it that serious until Italy shut down. Which was I remember the day too. It was March 11th, Wednesday, March 11th. And then on that day, I was like, oh, this is bad. And that's when I did my first panic shop at the grocery store just to get stuff because we weren't prepared. I think Thursday was my last day of work because I had a doctor's appointment Friday. And then I was at the gym that night thinking, this is going to be the last day at the gym for a while.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got everything in. I stacked up on protein powder. And then I was like really, really sad because I just did not want to quit the gym because I go to the gym like, I used to go like 10 hours a week.
I remember you were in a row, huh, John? Because I remember last time talking, you were in a row just being so consistent with it too.
Yeah, well, because it was my, I mean, I was only kind of aware of how conscious I was of it, but the gym was my meditation space because at the gym, I kind of just listen to music, I zone out, but in order to get an effective workout, you need to be focusing on the muscles that you're using. Mm-hmm. Like, especially with like a lot of upper body stuff, you can end up utilizing muscles that you're not supposed to, so that other muscles get underdeveloped. So whenever I would, especially like the bench press, I would think about, okay, I'm trying to push my biceps towards each other to make sure that my chest was activated and not my shoulder muscles or my back muscles or whatever. Mm. And that kind of mind-body connection is a mindfulness technique. So like when you're properly working out, you are very connected to your body. So I would like counteract that by like being on my phone between rest sets and then constantly looking at myself and comparing myself to others, which are not helpful.
Yeah.
Now, what does John listen to while working out? That's what I want to know.
Weird shit. It's like very John things, very, very John things, because I'm a very eclectic person. Okay, let's see. On Spotify, there are like 3 playlists for working out. There's what was it? There's like one that's kind of just like all like kind of like heavy, not like heavy rap, but like I'm a fucking gangster rap. Like I'm a badass rap. There's a pop workout, which is just like all the pop songs that are like playing that are just there to motivate you and boost you up. So it's a lot of like Lizzo. And there's like other ones that are on Spotify, but then I'll listen to weird shit too. That just makes me happy. So one of them is like this Indian style of music called Bhangra. It's like kind of like a Punjab thing, which is funny because that's I remember because I brought it up with Jasmeet once a little bit, and that's where I found out he's not really in touch with his Punjabi culture. And I was just like, oh shit. That means I'm like the white guy that's approaching the Indian guy being like, don't you just love Punjabi culture?
He's like, no.
Like, I get away with so much cultural appropriation because I have brown skin.
Yeah.
But I'll listen to Bhangra, or I'll listen to like I remember for one like month, I was obsessed with the Wonder Woman theme. Because out of all the DC comic movies, like she has the best theme. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
The theme song or the theme?
I don't watch DC.
Oh, okay. It's basically
I'm a Marvel guy.
I'm a Marvel guy too, but like her like like with the DC, everyone's very orchestral.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For hers, they decided her instrument piece would be the electric viola.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! I play viola. What the heck? Really?
Yeah. So it's an electric viola played by Tina Guo. Who's like this like really big like electric cello girl woman, and it basically sounds like the who's that one that Immigrant Song?
Yeah,
the Immigrant Song that played in Thor a lot, Thor Ragnarok. Like da 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 da. That's how Wonder Woman's theme is. It sounds like an electric guitar, and it's like da 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 da, and it has like a lot of like tribal kind of heavy like taiko drums in the background. So it's kind of like this like really like badass and it fits with orchestra too. So it's like a really like pumped up like song to be like feeling like a badass too.
Oh, that's something I want to get back into this quarantine is just going and like doing music again, because I used to play piano but I haven't been able to. And I just don't really want to spend the money right now and order like a keyboard or anything like that. I just really don't want to spend the money. But it's something that I would have really appreciated to have. I would really appreciate to have it during this time. I'm just super freaking. I just don't want to spend any money right now. But yeah, it would be nice.
Look for one in eBay or something.
I could. Actually, that's actually a good idea.
You could probably find one like a cheap electric keyboard for like $50.
Yeah, it needs to be like, the thing is that like I need it to be full size. I can't deal. Here's the thing. I'm really picky. Okay, because 20 years of piano, like I have to be picky, and like it needs to be a weighted keyboard, it needs to be weighted keys, and I need to like it needs to be full 88 keys. It can't be like 75,
like,
Yeah.
Like the Costco one. How many keys is that? The Costco one.
I mean, that was a full size piano. That was literally 88
okay.
keys. It was like a grand. So it was like an electric band, which is really.
Do you have space to have a good quality piano keyboard in your?
My desk right here.
Okay.
I'll probably just put it on here. It'll fit. But yeah, that's really it. That's all I put. And then hopefully, I mean, like if it's weighted, then that's fine. Like that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need. So.
Yeah.
You know what you should do, Josh? You know what you should do? Check Costco's return policy and then buy it. Like
no,
the next few days.
Expensive.
And then just return it. And then just return it.
No, but like the one at Costco that we saw that one time, Fidel, was it was an actual piano.
Yeah.
Like 4 foot grand. I can't fit that in here. That also weighs so much, like a few hundred pounds, like very heavy, like with like hard wood and like a lot of the mechanisms and stuff.
About you, Fidel? What hobbies have you been getting into?
I've been wanting to do more photo editing. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't had time. And also I want to do some web. I want to create my website, but I haven't had time. Like yesterday, I just spent it with family, but because I'm still working, so it's a little hard still. But other than that, I've just been listening to a lot of David Goggins, Jordan Peterson, just to like keep the mind focused and strong and keep pursuing my goals. I've noticed that I've been getting lazier now that grad school, I only have 8 more classes left. So I have felt that my hunger is like depleting. I don't know if that's like the proper way of saying it, but I do feel like my drive is not as much as it used to be. Like, I don't want to be content. Yeah, I want to keep fire. I want to keep doing stuff. I want to add stuff to it.
I mean, you have 8 classes left. That's basically what, like 2 semesters. So
yeah, 2 semesters.
Like that was basically, that's like you're at your senioritis right now. Like, yeah, you still had like I believe that senioritis definitely kicked over. Like from whatever I had in college, like my last year of college, like my senior year, I really did not care anymore. And then going into grad school, like I was really refreshed, prepared, because I'm actually learning things that I want to learn this time. But then it hit me again, like not last semester, not fall semester, but this spring semester definitely, where I just did not. I was so done. I was like, this is so stupid to me. Blah blah blah. Like it was so. I think people do get that. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it could be a bad thing if you really get it, if you really let it get to you. But it's the exhaustion after almost 2.5 years of going to school, just solely for a master's program, and then whatever you had to do before that, like in college and stuff like that. I think it's definitely a given, or it's definitely something that happens to a lot of people. And it's nothing that you should be like not embarrassed, but just very like about. Because I mean, like I had it too. But
just remember, for me, one of them is summer school. So summer school, one of the semesters is summer. So that one's going to go by quick.
Summer school is only 6 weeks for us. So
you're taking 4 classes this summer?
Yeah.
Damn.
2 and 2.
Taking 4 classes, 2 and 2. So 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 4, then 4 in the last semester fall, and then I should be done.
And I was like, wait, you're taking, because I have 6 classes left, but I'm like, I'm graduating in spring 2021. But my pace is just a lot more chill.
Yeah. What classes are you taking this semester, John?
Positive psych and personality with Carrie Mitchell.
Oh, nice. I'm retaking personality assessment.
Oh, did you do bad in that class?
Yeah, I got a B.
Okay.
And so he's going to pay all that money to take it again.
Yeah, because I literally, not to brag or anything, but I like went through all of grad school the 4.0, so I want to change it back.
Okay, so we're going to get off topic, but what are some tips for taking that class? Because I heard I did like a Slack thing, and some people said like it's a lot of work, but he's a good professor.
Okay, so when I first took it, I took it with Susan Himmelstein, and she.
Okay, cool.
She made it clear that it was a really difficult class. Let me just say that it was like from reading the syllabus now, from reading Mitchell's syllabus now, all we have to do, and I think it's just because it's.
Wait, are we in the same class then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We start on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That's why I emailed him on Friday. And I was like, shit, I'm not going to be able to get onto class because I don't have a computer. Because my computer died like Thursday. But aside from that, reading the syllabus, I don't know if it's been adapted because of coronavirus or if that's just what his syllabus is to begin with. But when I took class the first time, we had, I think, 5 assessments that we had to do. It was the MMPI, NeoPI, Rorschach, the RISB, and then something else. But here we only have 3, I think. It's the NeoPI, MMPI, and then the RISB, and then a clinical interview. So I think this is going to be a little bit more easier, but then I looked at the syllabus again, and then he's still teaching material like on the Rorschach and stuff like that, so I don't know how it's going to be. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. It's not going to be like, remember when we took intelligence assessment, how we kind of got babied through it because it was a summer class. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think it's actually like we're really going to have to put in the work this time. Because the MMPI itself is already like interpreting. We didn't even interpret. any of the intelligence tests, but I'm pretty sure with the MMP with personality assessment, we're going to have to interpret because we have to make an oral presentation. Because the thing with personality assessment is all of those tests, the way they design the class is basically your volunteer subject is basically getting a full entire battery of personality tests, and then you're going to have to interpret that whole entire thing via a presentation at the end.
Which is going to be interesting because like just doing these assessments via like Zoom.
Yeah.
Like that's not how you assess someone.
Yeah. Data is going to be skewed. I feel like.
Especially for personality.
Skewed personality. Well, the thing is that with personality, it's a lot more quantitative based than you would really think. It's not really like.
Oh yeah. I get that. I mean, really I get that because of
really look at like body language and stuff like that. Like the MMPI is all.
Oh yeah, it's like I took the MMPI. Did I save this? Did I save it? My answers. I think I don't know if I saved it.
All like there's like over 500.
I know. It took me because my old job. Part of what we did was different assessments. So we had a copy of the MMPI. And so I just like snuck a copy and I just like, whenever work got kind of quiet, I was just like, true, false, true, false, true, false. And then I snuck it back because you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it was, I think it'll be fine. He seems nice. I've been emailing him back and forth because of my whole computer situation, but he seems pretty understanding. So it's not as like rigorous this time around.
Yeah. I know, like I've been hearing some students say that the professors like made the class even harder because it switched to an online format, like by giving a bunch of assignments and like changing things up. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like my professors were really chill about it and understanding, and they made it easier because they understood that we're going through stuff.
I heard both parts.
Mine didn't even change anything. If anything, they just extended like our spring semester. If anything, they just extended all of our stuff. So they just extended like our final project, stuff like that. Like we had an extra week after our last meeting of class to finish our final and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Both my classes they were the same. We still had to turn in the same amount of papers. The projects, they were just through Zoom. Presentations, they were just through Zoom. The final was just take home. It was through, courses. Mm-hmm. But in other people's finals, I heard that they were just canceled. They were just turned into like a discussion board.
Yeah.
Or just canceled at all. So I'm hearing different things from everybody else. So I hope summer is not as hard.
Me too. Granted, like because of lockdown, for me at least, I'll have a lot more time to focus.
Especially since I'm not working, so it's like I'll like really focus because I really don't want to get a B again in this class. I'm retaking it. I'm paying the money to retake it for the A, so I have to get an A no matter what.
Okay. So about that, because with my therapy, I was doing a lot of work with perfectionists. Like do I even have my book on me? Yeah. So my therapist recommended this book, When Perfect Isn't Good Enough.
By
second edition. Martin M. Anthony, Dr. Martin Anthony, and Dr. MD Richard Swinson. This is the second edition, but it basically just deals with, just perfectionistic thinking. What are the symptoms of it? What are the downfalls? Like, where is it tripping you up? What are the possible causes? And then the third section kind of breaks up into specific things. So for me, perfectionistic thinking, I guess the areas where it messed me up were my mom's care, my education, my relationships with other people, because I'm conscious of it. So I kind of downplay it, but it still exists where I have really high standards, and those standards I don't want to impose my standards on other people, but it kind of just happens. And then body image was a huge one. It was like really bad. But when you kind of like understand the reasons why we have these perfectionistic thoughts, it's like, oh, you can start to move past them, transcend them. So that's kind of my like question for you, Josh, is that like a beast, like one B in grad school isn't terrible. Do you think it'll impede you getting into a doctoral program?
No, I think it's just more perfectionist at this point for me, because I did not, this is the first time where I've actually had such a high GPA. I did not graduate college with a really high GPA to begin with, and so I was really proud of myself that I was able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to, like, the fact that I don't want to say that I failed because I didn't fail, but
Mm-hmm.
I, like, mentally I probably was just like, I just want to do this again. So it wasn't that it was going to impede me to get into a doctoral program, because that's not even within my realm right now. I don't really want to do PhD or a PsyD program right now, just because I'm really burnt out with school right now, and I don't want to do anything more. And besides, like, I still don't know if I want to continue in the business realm and just do more organizational stuff, or go back into doing a more research based career. So I don't think that's going to be definitely, like, it impeding my like ability to enter a PhD program was not a factor in me like wanting to like redo it. I think it was just more perfectionistic at this point, because like it was the first time where I've actually really been able to say that I got straight A's. And to do that, like, and then to get that grade that one time, I was like, oh crap. Like I just, it was more annoyance, honestly. And so annoyance and like just really wanting to like get like full on like straight A's. So I think that's where this is coming from. I just really want to retake it. And I didn't really take it seriously the first time, so I probably will take. I'm obviously going to take it seriously this time.
Okay.
And actually, a few classmates we have that are retaking a class or two just to get the A, so they could apply for the doctorate program. So I always thought you were doing it for the same reason.
I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, it'll still help me, right? It'll still help, but it's not. That wasn't my main motivation when I wanted to retake the class. It was just more like, I just want to do this for myself, really. And so, yeah, I'm spending more money doing it, but it's fine. Like I've already accepted that with myself. So part of it too might just be like, oh shit, I don't really want to graduate yet, because this is going to be the first time in, like 18 years where I'm not going to be in, this will be the first time where I'm solely going to be not going to school. Right. Cause I've been going to school. Like I went into college straight after high school. I went into grad school straight after college. So this will be the first time where I'm really like, I don't have to commit myself to anything rigorously in the academic world. So it might be just a little bit of anxious or fear from that. But that's probably really subconscious in the back of my mind, because I still love learning. So it's not that, but yeah, it was just more like a perfectionistic thing.
I'm actually excited.
Because let's say, because I feel like I don't know, as I'm thinking right now, if it were because I'm so scared of going out into the real world, then I would be going into a doctoral program then. If I really wanted to like get that anxious or fear, not even a doctoral program, just get another master's or something like that. But it's not that. So I don't know. That was kind of stupid though, the way that I just said that. So,
I mean, it's not stupid. I mean, like, your reasons for it are like legit. I guess it's just kind of exploring it, but also like the idea of what does that mean to you getting a B? What does it mean getting straight A's? And not just like, oh, I got straight A's, I earned it, but like, what does it mean to have earned it? What does it mean to be a straight A student? Like, what does that mean about yourself and your relations and how others perceive you? Kind of just keep digging into that. So like the real root kind of comes out. Like what would drive you to retake a class where you already got a B? That said, I would probably do the same thing too, because I spent a 30-minute conversation with my therapist the other day about like what happens if I get a B in a class. Because like you see me as a student, like I'm pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and intense.
You have really great work ethic. Like I remember to think work ethic, but I have good work ethic, but it's not to a level where I don't know how to word it correctly. It's not like a passion. You know what I'm saying? Like I love school, but I can't like just, I don't know. It's interesting. Like it's just you and I, like we're like obviously different. So like the work ethic is different, but like you just have a bigger drive than I do.
Well, it's also because I had a 7-year gap between undergrad and grad school.
True.
Also, like, like I've had we both have had different sets of experiences, because I was not like this in undergrad. I was like this in different areas, but not academically. Academically, like I got a bunch of B's where I should have gotten A's.
Yeah.
I got like a C in astronomy because like I would fall asleep in the planetarium during lecture because it was just so like dark and cozy and we were looking at stars.
I remember when I first met you, John, it was the first semester of grad school. I forgot what class it was, but you did show up to class with a fat stack of flashcards. And you were just
Yeah, I remember before we all became friends, I would like go to the library and I'd see John and he'd just be with the techniques book and just writing flashcards down, and I was like, oh wow, grad school really is another game. It really is just a game changer. It's really completely different.
Yeah, but like our program is pretty chill, which is good because you get to, when you're less stressed and focused on technical stuff, you can focus on like overarching themes and being able to communicate your understanding versus like being really like bunch of technical jargon. Yeah, we have a Zoom workout at 11, but you're welcome to join, Josh.
You should join us, Josh.
I need to take a shower and then I'm gonna go get a coffee or something.
No, first do some yoga and then go shower and then go get your coffee.
No, either that or I'll probably go back to sleep.
No, you already been up for an hour.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, John, for joining us today. It was really great being able to.
Thanks for having me.
Because for the past few weeks, all I've been seeing is Fidel's face. Because goddamn, it's already probably taking tired of me. So I'm really glad that you're doing well. Hopefully everything's going out going smoothly for you. But we'll see you all in the next one.
In the next one, guys. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.